We are live, and today we are trash talking Ripple. That's right. Well, we're not so much trash talking it as just watching everybody else trash talk it. Now, I like to say that when everyone's trash talking about a cryptocurrency, that's the best time to buy it. Now, only with a caveat, only under one condition, and that is when the cryptocurrency has shown remarkable resilience in the face of just venomous vitriol being hurled at it. So, can Ripple demonstrate Bitcoin like resilience in the face of all the trash talk about it? Well, that remains to be seen. But let's look at the history of the price of Ripple when it's dropped significantly. Okay, right now it's dropped about 50% from its high of $3.30 on January 4th. It's down to a low of 161 during the night last night. So that's a pretty big drop, and everybody panics and everybody trash talks. And here's what I'm talking about. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Okay, so here's what I'm talking about with the panic and the trash talk. The headlines today. Okay, now remember today Ripple has dropped to 161. All right, it ran up all the way from 25 cents, where it broke above 25 cents on December 11th, all the way up to $3.30 on January 4th. And today, you can see these headlines. Ripple lawsuit heats up, $12 billion now at stake. Cryptocurrencies drop as high flyer Ripple trades 50% below peak. Ripple loses half its value in less than a week. Why Ripple and other cryptocurrencies are crashing right now. So all panic, you know, deputy downers of doom trash talk. Okay, this is all negative talk. And just look at this. Okay, Ripple loses half its value. Why? Okay, let's see why. People are just trying to come up with reasons. In the summer of 2016, the former CEO signed a deal with the bank, including an option to buy 5 billion units of its currency for less than a penny. And now there's a lawsuit over it. So suddenly that's a big issue. Much of Ripple supply is controlled by the company that created it. Now, that is a drawback for some market watchers. So, that makes it not technically a cryptocurrency, but actually a currency that is controlled by the supply of which is controlled by the company as opposed to the blockchain. And if you look at the way blockchain works, you'll realize that it's self regulating. So, for the typical blockchain application, the supply is controlled by the blockchain itself, and the actual speed that it takes to solve a block and lock it, seal it and lock it in place. But for Ripple, that's not the case. There's no mining of Ripple, so it's technically not a currency, and that can be one of the reasons that some people are against it. But everybody knew that already. Okay, and then why they're crashing right now. This article from Time says blame it on Korea, blame it on Bitcoin, blame it on profit taking. You know, blame it on the tequila. As far as this article is concerned, nobody really knows exactly why the price is dropping. But if you see a price drop like that, and you see it rebound significantly, especially when it's got a mathematically predictable zone of support where it rebounds, then you can reliably look at market pullbacks where people are talking trash because everybody panics when the price drops for opportunities to buy. So let's look going back to December 11th where it broke out above 25 cents. Okay, it shot up to 89 cents and then it dropped to 61 cents. So that was a pretty big drop from 90 cents to 60 cents. That was about a third it dropped. Then look at this. It hit a new high of $1.25 and then dropped to 63 cents. So this isn't the first time Ripple has cut its value in half, and that was it. That was in one day, from December 22nd, from December 21st here to December 22nd. Here, it dropped from $1.25 to 63 cents. Then it went on a pretty good ride up all the way to 250. And then it dropped down to 160. So that's again more than, let's see, 250. It's almost half. It's a little less. That's 2/5, so 40% drop. So it dropped from 250 to 160. Now, 160 was a Fibonacci retracement zone, and for those of you who aren't familiar with Fibonacci math, it's just a kind of math that predicts markets based on human behavior, and it has some pretty reliable numerical areas where prices tend to aggregate or tend to you have an affinity for. So they either bounce off those areas or they once they break through them, that's significant. So you can see that it bounced off that 160 retracement zone, and that's a significant Fibonacci retracement level. The yellow arrow in the middle of the Fibonacci retracement zone here shows what region would be significant, a significant Fibonacci number. And like I said, prices tend to aggregate or have an affinity for those areas, and also tend to swing, bounce, even pinball-like bounces. Bitcoin shows pinball-like bounces off of those Fibonacci zones. So once it hit that Fibonacci zone of 160, it rode all the way up to $3.30 on January 4th, and that was the high. And then it started dropping. And if you can see here, it hit a low of 161 this morning, which is again about a 50% drop. And now it seems to be turning around a little bit, and the money flow oscillator here, remember, money flow gives the volume traded in that period a weight based on how close, based on the proximity of the close in prices is to the high or low. So if it's closer to the high, that means money's flowing into the market even if the price is dropping. So that's how money flow can show up as positive, like right here. It's turning above the zero line, so it's positive right here. It can show up as positive even when the price is dropping, okay, as it is right here. So money flow is turning positive. And now looking back at the fundamentals, it's always important to do a technical and fundamental analysis of this. When Ripple was up at its high, it was everybody's darling. Okay, this is just from a few days ago. Okay, Ripple was still up at its high, and it was right then about $2.40. After it hit the high of 330, so it was still running, trading near its high. And then the headlines were, Ripple price, why is it rising? Should you buy Ripple instead of Bitcoin? Ripple is faster. Transactions are completed in seconds. It's an extremely low transaction fee. Bitcoin competitor Ripple value climbs, almost beating Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg. Forbes said a bullish sign for Bitcoin, Ripple, and other cryptocurrencies. Rotation from one coin to another isn't new to investing. It confirms that money is staying within this asset class. So Ripple was everybody's darling just a few days ago, but now suddenly they're just literally spewing vitriol at it because the price has dropped 50%. But when everybody's trash talking cryptocurrency, I'll say it again, that's a great time to buy if the cryptocurrency has shown remarkable resilience in the face of venomous, trash talking, vitriol hurled at it, a tsunami of negativity from the deputy downers of doom. If that's what's going on and its price is bouncing back, then you've got a good play, a good swing trade, a good market to invest in. So these bounces off of previous drops in prices. So here's just a reminder: one from uh, 89 cents to 61 cents. Here we got $1.25. It dropped down to 63 cents. Bounced back to a high of 250, back to a low of 160, all the way up to 330. Now it's back to 161. And that Fibonacci zone is an important zone of support because the prices tend to gravitate towards Fibonacci zones. So you've got a technical indicator that this market is turning around. The money flow oscillator is turning positive. So money is flowing into the market despite the fact that the price is lower. And looking at the headlines, a few days ago, people were saying, well, it's fast and it's cheap and it's allied with all these banks. And now they're saying they're talking about the negatives on Ripple, which is it's controlled by the company. So the currency is not technically a cryptocurrency. It's not mined. And therefore, that's the reason. That's one of the reasons that it's fast. But it's also, since it's not mined, it's not decentralized. So the company controls a lot of, it controls the supply of it, but it also controls a lot of the currency itself. The other thing that's important to notice about Ripple is that the Ripple platform, is used by banks to transfer money, but they don't have to use the Ripple token. They don't have to use the coin, XRP. So note that the Ripple platform and the Ripple currency are two very different things. And the token is not, like it says here in this article from Bloomberg, the token isn't required for some of the company's money transfer services. The banks do not have to use it. Now, looking at the system, if you look at just from the fundamental side, one of the reasons Ripple has skyrocketed in price is because of SBI Ripple Asia, a consortium of more than 60 banks that use Ripple for interbank transfers. And it was adopted for Japanese, Thai transfers last year in June, and now it's trying a Japan, South Korea link. So this is all going on in the Ripple community right now, and this, if you look back at this article, it says that Asian consumers usually drive crypto prices, but Ripple seems immune to an Asian ban on crypto anonymity. In fact, it went up in market cap despite an Asian ban on crypto anonymity. So it was resilient in the face of bad news and resilient also with respect to price. And these credit card industry consortiums have also added to the utility of the Ripple network. So we're talking about, there's quite a bit of fundamentals in favor of Ripple. The negatives are there, and everyone's emphasizing the negatives just because of the recent drop in price. But looking at previous drops in prices, you can be pretty confident that it's going to bounce off the Fibonacci retracement zone, and even now we can see it bouncing. Right now it's almost back to $2, so from $1.60, which is a pretty significant bounce off this Fibonacci zone right in the center. So Ripple, a lot of trash talk, a lot of negativity, but a great time to buy if you want to invest in the international cross-border interbank transfer network that is faster than Bitcoin, cheaper than Bitcoin, and right now the number 3 cryptocurrency in the world. So that's the Ripple Trash Talk for today, and hopefully this video has given you some information that you can use to make smarter cryptocurrency investment decisions. Ciao for now.